So protesters have been spotted all across the country, many of them mostly here in Los Angeles. The 101 was shut down. Protesters took to the street. They wave Mexican flags while demanding to stay. Take a look at these protests. So this one here, just people swarming the streets. You can see them waving the Mexican flag. You see a couple of American flags in there, but by and large, they're all waving mostly Mexican flags. I mean, they're also waving flags of other South American countries, but predominantly Mexico. You know, they're waving the flags of the country of their ethnic origin or even their nationality, where they're from, where their families are from. That's who they're waving the flag of. This is an odd tactic, I have to say. At first, I wasn't sure, what are they protesting? And people said, oh, they're protesting ICE raids. And I thought, while waving Mexican flags, are they maybe protesting the tariffs? Because that would make more sense to me that they would protest and say, we don't want tariffs on Mexico because that's going to hurt Americans. It's going to hurt, we like Mexican products. Maybe that's why they're waving the American flag. But no, I mean, the Mexican flag. But no, they're actually, oddly, they're protesting ICE raids while waving a Mexican flag, demanding to stay in the United States, saying, we love Mexico. I was reading some of the protest signs. We love Mexico, or I'm from Mexico, or all of these things. And it just doesn't make any sense. It would make more sense if you're going to protest deportations, you would wave an American flag. And you'd be all out there waving American flags saying, we love America. We don't want to go anywhere. We want to build America. We're here for America. Yes, we come from other places, but America through and through. We are Americans and we want to stay. But that's not what they did. So this just caused people to look at them confused and say, keep on marching. Go all the way. You keep going a little further, you're going to get back into Mexico. Just keep walking. Keep going, guys. So really odd that these protests, that this was kind of the thinking with the organization of these protests. They're protesting all of the ICE raids. Let's talk about some of these ICE raids and the reality of them. First of all, Trump has said that they're ramping up ICE raids and they're going to be going after the criminals first. Like that's what we were all thinking was, we want the violent criminals out there. When he was running on the campaign trail before he was elected, this was a lot about, the Lincoln Rileys, the murders, the rapes. Like we got to get, and then we would see the Venezuelan gangs that were taking over apartment buildings. I mean, we were seeing crime and we wanted to get rid of crime. But some of these ICE raid videos that have been coming out leave us sort of scratching our head. Are they actually going after the criminals? Or are they going after the Molly maids? I mean, look at this video here. Here is a woman being deported. She's being rounded up by ICE. Let's play this.
No firme nada. No firme nada ni digan nada. No tienen culpa para pararle. That's fucking. You should be ashamed of yourselves. You guys probably have family from Mexico. You guys should be ashamed. You guys look fucking nopal as fuck. How dare you guys? You guys are sad. Damn, this shit's sad. It's making me cry because I can't believe this shit's happening in my own fucking neighborhood. That's fucked up. She's heading to work and they're taking her, and she has family over here. That's fucking scandalous, bro. I can't believe this shit's really happening. That's sad. You guys are scandalous. Fuck, man. What is she doing? Heading to work? What is she bothering you guys? Is she doing something dangerous? How about you guys go get the fucking prostitution off the street on hold? I've been here fucking 39 years of my life and I've never seen this shit. You guys should be ashamed of yourselves. May God have mercy on all your souls and your family souls. Because karma's a bitch. Karma's a bitch, and you look nopal as fuck. You should be ashamed. Undercover cops, look at stopping people and taking them, asking them where they're from, what part of Mexico. Look at fucking bastards. They don't have license plates, you guys. So if you guys see undercover cops with no plates, they're fucking pulling over Mexicans.
I mean, that looks like a woman that was just on her way to go clean houses or work at a restaurant or something like that. She didn't really look like the Venezuelan gangs taking over apartment complexes, nor did she look like the rapists or the murderers. Now, I get it. If you're here in this country illegally, you're here in this country, illegally. I mean, what do you expect is going to happen? I certainly don't think I could live in any country in the world just because I choose to and not get their permission or go through the proper paperwork and then think one day I'm not going to get busted and sent back home. I would expect that to happen to me. But we only have so many ICE officers. The big thing is, okay, fine, you want to get rid of them all, fine. But we only have so many ICE officers. We only have so many facilities or so much capacity. Right now, they're nabbing about 700 people a day. Trump has said he wants to get about 1,500 people per day. Well, don't you, surely there's more right now. There's more than 1,500 per day worth of actual violent criminals that we would like to get rid of. That should be really who they're focusing on. But in order to meet the quota, the numbers that Trump is asking for, it looks like they're just rounding up anybody. And they're not going after the criminals first. And that should be the first round. And then they say to the rest, like, okay, we went after the criminals, and now we're going to go after those of you that have been living here for 5 years or less, or we're coming after you next. And then we're going to go after the people that have been here for longer and longer. And if you don't have your papers in order, you need to get your papers in order. Because we're coming for you. I mean, something along those lines, I think makes the most sense. Like I said, we just have so many resources and they're limited. So why don't we use them in actually making the country safer, not just getting rid of our maid right now? I mean, like I said, I understand eventually, but I just didn't think this would be happening in the first round. Here's a Philly car wash that was also raided. This one made the news. They rounded up 5 employees at a car wash in Philadelphia. Again, are these the hardened criminals that they were going at? Are these the rapists? Are these the murderers? Or are these just the guys out there in the freezing cold, by the way, in the middle of winter, washing your car? Nobody wants that job. And that's what the car wash owner said when they interviewed the car wash owner. And they were like, why are you employing these people? And he's like, because I can't find anybody else literally to do these jobs. Now, some will say that's because the pay is too low. That's possible. Let's find out. That's why I think these deportations, they have to happen in order for us to correct the situation. We don't know if Americans will do these jobs at all. We don't know if the pay is too low or if they just don't want jobs or if we just have a lazy society. I mean, we just don't know. And until the jobs are available and until employers are forced to pay wages for an American, we won't have that answer. So the only way to solve this problem is to, unfortunately, deport all of the people who are illegal. They should really self-deport. And once once these jobs are freed up, then we'll see what happens. We'll see if we just all don't get any services anymore because nobody will do the jobs, or if Americans start getting employed and it works out better for especially those making the least amount in this country, which happens to be mostly Blacks at this point, and Native Americans. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I mean, we won't know until we do this. Here's another ICE raid that happened at a warehouse. This one was interesting. This is kind of what's happening is they're raiding the warehouse. Do we have this one? This is a video. Let's watch this.
This shit is crazy, bro. He's fucking running. Ahorita. Mire, yo le voy a llamar ahorita. A ver dónde.
So what happened was ICE cracked down at this warehouse and the guys that were there ran and they jumped the fence. And that's what you see in the video. These guys are on the other side of the fence. They're running from ICE. And that's a lot of guys, working at this warehouse that are running from ICE. But again, my question is, are these the murderers? Are these the rapists? With limited resources, I'd prefer that they go after those guys first. And then we can start clearing out the car washes and the warehouses and the home cleanings, leaving the rest of us wondering what's going on with our services. Fine, fair enough. I mean, that's what has to happen. Everything will go up in price. And that's what's going to have to happen. I mean, I don't see any other way to correct this problem. And then they'll hire Americans or not. And if they find that the country doesn't actually correct and there's not enough Americans to fill these jobs, then the country will start having a conversation about legal immigration back into the country. And those who self-deport will have the opportunity, because they won't have a mark on their record, those who self-deport will have the opportunity to come back into the country because they don't have that black mark on their record. I think Trump is actually trying to get a lot of people to self-deport. 1,500 a day. Let's do the math on this. So in total, Biden carried out about 1.5 million deportations in his 4 years. Okay. Obama was like deportation king. He deported 2.9 million during his first term alone. Trump during his first term also did the same as what about Biden did, which is about 1.5 million deportations. So Trump did the same number as Biden in their first term. Obama just trounced them with his deportations. 1,500 deportations a day. If Trump hits his mark, right now they're only doing about 700. So if Trump hits his mark at 1,500 deportations a day, that's about 547,000 deportations per year. That works out to about 2.2 million during Trump's first term. That is still under Obama's 2.9 million. That's still way under. So this isn't going to result. A couple of things with that. First of all, I think we're just seeing more of these videos because Trump has made it a part of his platform, right? Obama never said really anything like this. He was just doing it quietly without people really knowing. And so nobody made a big deal about it. So we didn't see these social media posts of ICE raids or whatever, but they surely were happening because he deported 2.9 million people, more than Trump or Biden. So that was certainly happening. So one, I think we're getting a lot of these videos and these reports because it's hot for the news right now. People are interested in this subject because Trump is talking about it. But this isn't an out of the ordinary number of people. I also think what's happening is the Trump administration is playing an interesting psychological game. I think they're wanting these stories to come out there. Trump is also saying things like, we're going to open up Guantanamo Bay and we're going to take these illegals, that we round up and we're going to stick them in Guantanamo Bay. I mean, imagine that, like Molly maid, the Maria maid or whatever. She's going to go and sit at Guantanamo. I mean, she doesn't seem like she's a hardened criminal. So why are we going to put people in Guantanamo? I'm sure that the Trump administration, if they can figure that out, will do it. One of the reasons for doing that is because it causes panic, which causes then what? Self-deportation. So it's a way to get people to just leave on their own. Like, don't make us do it. We don't have the resources, because we don't. We don't have the resources. We don't have the money. We don't have the manpower. You can't do more than 1,500 deportations a day. That's pushing it. You're still only going to get 2 million a year. That's not enough. So, 2 million in your first term, 4 years, 2 million in 4 years. You're only going to get 500,000 a year. So I think there's a big push right now to just try to get people to go on their own. And I don't think it's a bad idea because, again, one could risk it, but then they could end up being deported and not on their own terms, or one could actually just self-deport and leave with all of their stuff and make the arrangements and be all set up. And I think that's just what's got to happen. I mean, I think, unfortunately, we let our border problem go for so long that now it's hit this horrible place where the only way we're going to correct it is surgery, like serious, terrible surgery. And that's what's happening right now. And I think most Americans on both sides of the aisle are for this because it hit that point. It hit that point. We're in like stage 4 cancer right now, and we need surgery to remove it. And it's terrible, and we shouldn't have let it get this bad. And I'm not saying these people are cancer by any means, because I do think that the governments will eventually open back up to a lot of legal immigration, but because we're going to really need the workers, I just think that's just a reality of it. But I don't know. I mean, who knows how this shakes out? Thanks for watching this clip from the full Kim Iverson Show. If you want to watch the full show, visit KimIversonShow.com. The show airs every Monday through Friday at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. Again, it's KimIversonShow.com. See you there.